Okay guys, today we're going to be making our coil pots. So for this you're going to need 2 sticks of the same width and a rolling pin. All of these can be found in our clay room. Start by putting the sticks on either side of the clay and rolling out your clay into a thin sheet. I recommend using the clay from our previous project that's just a little leather hard. Now, your clay may not be the right size for your base of your coil pot, so you can always cut, slip, and score it into the correct shape. Remember, you want to score twice and slip once. Once you're done this, smooth that edge until everything is even. I recommend rolling over it one more time and continuing to smooth out that seam until it disappears. Next, we're going to cut out our base. For this project, you can use any circle you find in the room as your base. Place your clay on your spinning pedestal, which can be found above our wheels, and press your circle into the clay. I recommend using the Chobani cups. I'm using the top of my hand lotion. Then place your beveling tool into that seam, spin and cut, spin and cut. You'll also notice I've put a piece of paper in between my clay and the spinning tool. This is so that it won't stick, and I can lift it off of that pedestal as I start my construction. Now it's time to roll out those coils. Clear off your working space and roll your clay into I would say like a bit of a cylinder about the size of your thumb. Place it on your mat and roll pinky to palm, back and forth. I start with my hands in the center and roll and move them outwards as I roll my coil. Some areas may get a little bit thinner, so we just have to pinch them off. And double check to make sure your clay coil is long enough to fit around the base. Once you've done this, it's attachment time. Again, same as before, anytime you attach one piece of clay to another, you must slip and score. I score along the edge of my coil and the edge of my base. I'm going to periodically through this project, I might go around and do what I call the wiggle test. I'll give your coils a little bit of a pull to make sure you are slipping and scoring correctly. If you do not do this, your coils will fall off during the bisqueware phase, which will be a pain for both you and me. So be sure to slip and score. Wrap your coil around your base. Give it a little bit of a wiggle and move on to your next coil. Now, you'll notice here I'm tapping my clay just a little bit to kind of get it back in shape. This is the strategy if you hear that thunking noise as you're rolling your clay. This will help it roll just a little bit easier. Once again, scoring my clay, adding a little bit of slip, and attaching. Now, you'll notice here, it's just a little bit long, so I'm going to cut through both the top and bottom of my coils so it matches up perfectly. Now for this project, we're going to be doing a variety of decorative techniques, so we need a smooth surface. So using my smoothing tool, or modeling tool, I'm going to push the clay upward to blend the outside 2 coils together. You want to do this for both the outside and inside. Bad technique is seeing those coils after the blending phase. So as always, be sure that you have thoroughly smoothed out your object. You're going to repeat this process for 5 more coils, or more, depending on how tall you want your vessel to be. But this project will require a minimum of 5 coils. And here we go, the finished product. Later in lecture, I'm going to go over those different decorative techniques. But be sure you've smoothed your object. Be sure that the rim is pretty even. And good luck!